Hello everyone, welcome back again. This is our fourth episode. In this episode, we shall learn how to model floors in Revit, particularly structure floors. Now we have our layout, our first floor layout, as you can see on the screen. So to model the floors, come here to the structure tab, then choose slab. There are many options you can choose from. One is offset. That is when you draw maybe a line and don't want it to be exactly on the axis you are drawing. Then extend into the wall. Then the type, there are many options here, but you can choose one to suit your preferences. And in this example, I'm going to draw a floor of 200. Now it is indicated foundation slab, but these can also be just as floors. Choose this. I want to bring your attention to these settings. You can change the thickness from here. You say edit, change the material and thickness, but I'll leave it as that. So the level here is first floor. Height offset from the level is 0, 0. We have the covers and the dimensions like you can see. Then this side we have the various drawing tools, line, rectangle, polygons, then circles, then arcs, and pick lines. This is basically to draw a boundary of the slab. Now let me illustrate how is this tool used. Now we are going to draw our slab enclosed within the boundaries of the exterior beams. What you do is you can come and choose line here, then click the boundary of the slab. Now you realize that here it is kind of hard to draw on this arc. That's when these other tools come in handy. Let me say I want to draw around this arc. I can simply just draw my line like that. Press escape, still active, you can see. Then draw another one from here like that. Escape, say it's still active. Then draw from here to here. Basically, draw a closed loop. Now this is not a closed loop, so it will give errors. If I exited the command, then I use trim and extend, which is TR. If I press OK, it will be fine. I want to bring your attention to the way these beams have been annotated. They are no longer solid lines but hidden lines like that. Simply because we are now viewing a slab, but we are highlighting that below that slab there are beams. I want to remove this foundation span direction symbol because I don't like it. But if you want it, you can leave it there. Come here, right click and choose hide in view. Notice that I've not deleted it, I've just hidden it. Now I don't want my slab to go beyond like this, so I want it to follow this arc. So I click the slab, come to edit sketch. I will say pick lines, click it, and come and select the center line of this arc like that. Then, as you recall, we've been using trim and extend a lot in this course. You must be familiar with it by now. I'll type on my keyboard TR. If you're not comfortable with these shortcuts, you can use the commands right here. But I find it time saving knowing the commands. TR, then I trim and extend this and this. Now, notice these smaller lines outside here and here, these indicate the span direction. It is necessary at times, it is important at times to indicate this, especially if you are dealing with, say, steel decks, or if you are drawing beam systems. But for this example, it is not necessary whether you select it spanning this side or this side. But how do you change the span direction? You come here and click span direction, then click the edge where you want the slab to span, or the beam system, whichever. Let me say I want to click this edge. So these lines will move from here to this side. In other words, now spanning in this direction. That is it. Now press OK. So that's how you place solid slabs in Revit. So I want to bring your attention to another tool under flow command. You notice that when we're drawing this slab, we use this tool. When you click structure flow, under the drop down menu here, you can see there's a deck, then there's this concrete with chorus. There are many as you go down like this. You know, when you are dealing with composite structures, you'll come across what they call steel decks. This is where you get that command in Revit. Now, I don't want to handle this now. There will be a separate tutorial for steel structures. So how about flat slabs? Flat slab systems are, in simple terms, these are structural systems where you don't find beams. So the slabs sit directly onto the columns. However, at these joints where we have the intersection, there is a phenomenon called punching shear that happens around here. So to counteract that, we normally deepen the slab at this point. It is deepened at this point to counteract that punching shear, of course with punching shear reinforcement. There are so many ways you can, of course, come up with that. You can draw multiple slabs at that area. You can model the whole slab in model place. You could model in place under this using this tool. I wouldn't want to bring it up right now. So we shall have a separate tutorial on flat slabs. Then I want also to hint at ribbed slabs. Let me remove this slab first, and so that I can illustrate very well. Notice it is structure foundations. Then delete. Let's say we have smaller beams that are spanning into this direction. This one is a beam of 500 depth, but let's say I want to create smaller beams. I'll come here to beam, then edit type and create a smaller one, but say set 150 by 200. And I create smaller ones like this. Exit, then click again, exit, then copy this. So then I want to make this equidistant. You recall we handled this some time back in the previous tutorials, but there are only two segments. So what you do, you dimension. So you come to annotate, click this dimension here, then dimension, click the center lines of these beams like this. I'll have a separate tutorial on dimensions, but I just want to bring it up to illustrate something. After dimensioning, there happens to be a toggle for equivalent elements, this one. So when I click it, it organizes these to make them equidistant. You can see the spacing. I want to illustrate what ribbed slabs mean. It's basically smaller beams, for example, spanning in this direction, but having a thinner slab. Now, instead of having a slab of 200, for example, I can have one of 50 millimeter seated on these smaller beams. So I'll come here to structure, then slab, then edit type, because I don't have one of 50. Say duplicate, remove this two, and change this to 50. Click OK. Then come here to structure, edit, and change the thickness to 50. Okay. Then draw the extent of the slab. I'll use rectangle this time. Like that. Of course, I can also constrain these edges to these center lines of the beam, but I won't do that for this tutorial. For this example, I press OK. So let's say I want to extend this system, this side and this side. It's a simple thing. You can try it out and see. So I'll leave that homework to you. But by now, if you have been following me, you can easily do that. You realize that you can select these one by one by clicking one, then hold down the Ctrl key and click the rest like that before you walk around with them. Another option would be click one of them, right click then, and select all instances visible in view or in project. Now we've only created these, so even if you select this or this, doesn't matter. But I'll select this. Then there I can edit them. For example, if I want to edit the rib breadth to maybe 1 to 5, you'll notice that they will want to shrink in a bit, like that. I want to make them a bit wider and deeper. Let's have a more significant load than usual, like that, and press OK. Now you realize that this one has a kind of misbehaved. Let me show you in a section. If you do a section here, okay, I don't understand why this moved. I don't want to say that I know why it moved. As you can see, it's not in the same line as this. So, and when you click it, it even shows you here that it has not moved. So these are some of the errors that in Revit that you may not fully understand why they are like that. So it is just take it back. Use the align tool, AL, click the reference, and there. These small errors normally happen. So this is how a rib slab looks like. They are basically beams with a thinner slab at the top. Now where I stay in my country, we normally fill these voids with blocks. So it is cast with the blocks to give us a finer ceiling. Illustrate that with a line. Something like this. So thank you for listening. That is all about slabs. And in the next video, we shall talk about foundations.